I didn't like it, I didn't wear it. Solid 4 stars. It kind of smells like campfire, but I don't want to wash it. I love it. This is a 2-star dress. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the last video of 2023. For the last video of the year, I thought it would be really fun to go back, reflect on everything I've made this year, everything I sewed on my channel, and see how I feel about those items now. What ended up working for me? What didn't end up working for me? Would I do things differently if I could go back and do them again? So what I'm gonna do is go through every single item and give them a rating from 1 to 5 stars, and we're gonna see how they line up. So we're gonna go in chronological order. I have my clothing rack here full of everything I've made this year, and I'm really excited to get started. So let's go through them. This past year I found myself mostly focusing on bigger projects that took several weeks to finish, so I don't have as many different clothing items here, although I have to say it's still quite a lot. It's much more than I thought when I was going into this video. But yeah, there were some quite big projects and I ventured into some new areas that I hadn't been before. So the first dress of the year actually reflects that really well, and it is my pink glitter tulle gown. This was a journey, guys. Oh my gosh, this was a journey. It's the first time I ever made anything formal, kind of like evening wear like this. I'm fairly sure it's the first time I made padded cups. I have a boned bodice and everything. It came out so nice. I am just over the moon with this. It didn't come out that good at first and I was really disappointed, but then I received a lot of tips from you guys, decided to unpick the thing, go back, redo it, and then it turned into this and it is just magical. Yeah, this is definitely among my favorite things I've made this past year, if not the ultimate favorite. And I'm very, very happy to have this in my wardrobe now as an option to wear. Not right now, obviously, but who knows, maybe someday I will fit into this again. I was able to wear it for my turning 30 photo shoot and everything. It was really, really fun. I give this a solid 5 stars. The inside's beautiful. Just very, very pleased with the pink glitter tulle gown. The project after that was a stash busting one. I have a lot of fabric just sitting around here in my studio, and I honestly feel like I should do this more often, just go through and use up some of that fabric, because there is so much there that is perfectly usable. So I did that at the beginning of the year and I created this dirndl dress. Actually, I didn't create this dirndl dress, I created a slightly different one. This is the dress, but I ended up altering it later in the year because the dress that I originally made I actually didn't love. I didn't like it, I didn't wear it. The fit wasn't just right, I didn't like the skirt shape very much, and it just didn't feel very me. So later on I went back to this dress, once again unpicked some seams, made some alterations. I added this panel to the center of the skirt, which made it much more my style, much more to my liking, and now it's actually a dress that I'm really excited to wear. Unfortunately, by the time I made all of these alterations, spring and summer was almost over, so I didn't really get the chance to wear this much, but I very much look forward to wearing it next year. I'd say initially it would have been maybe 2 stars, 3 stars. I think in this shape, the new and improved altered version, I can give 4 stars, just because I haven't really worn it and I'm not sure how much I love it in practice. Now here is something I didn't actually make on camera, and I didn't sew this obviously, but this is the first sweater I have ever knitted, and I am so proud of it and I am so proud of myself. I have known how to knit since I was a child, but I've never been able to make anything beyond a rectangle, so just a scarf. The most complicated pattern I had ever done was a rib. I didn't really know how to increase and decrease and stuff like that. And this year I finally just sat down and learned through a YouTube video, and that was what I needed. I needed that visual kind of aid from someone. When you kind of know what you're doing, but also kind of not really, written instructions for knitting are just, I might as well be trying to read Chinese. No idea what they say. But this pattern was accompanied by a video that walked you through every single step. I will link it down below actually. It was really, really good and I really enjoyed doing it, and I came up with a perfect sweater. Just I want to make more. I am not sure if I want to make this one again or maybe a different pattern, but yeah, this was so much fun and it turned out great. 5 stars, obviously. Very happy with it. No complaints whatsoever. 2023 for me was the year of learning new skills when it came to sewing and venturing into new areas that I hadn't explored yet. And the next item is a great example of this. I made some lingerie. When I went to buy supplies to make my glitter tulle gown, I ended up in a lingerie making supply store in Amsterdam. Wasn't aware of the existence of lingerie making supply stores before this, but when I was there to buy that like cup foam and the underwires and stuff like that, I discovered the world of lingerie making materials, and they had stunning stuff, and I ended up impulse buying a lingerie making kit with fabric, which I then used to make lingerie. My very first set, and I just adore it. I have to admit, it has been mostly decorative in my life because I'm terrified of wearing it out, ruining it, you know, having to put it through laundry. I don't really want to wear it in case it gets damaged because it's so pretty, and I am very proud of myself for making it with that in mind, and because I do still have a lot to learn in this area of sewing. I think I can give myself a solid 4 stars for my first attempt at making a bra and panty set. Oh, I do still think it's absolutely stunning, and looking at it, I should have worn it more while it fits. After that, it was time for another big project, and this is something I've had on my bucket list for a very long time. Eowyn's Shield Maiden dress from The Lord of the Rings. Not a cosplay, but something inspired by that, something that captures the essence of the Shield Maiden dress. I did use a lot of reference material that I could find about the exact costume that Eowyn wears in the movies, and this is my version that I came up with, and I absolutely adore it. I decided to make it out of linen instead of the silk that was used in the movie to give it a bit more of a rustic feel, a bit more peasant-y and a bit less royal. But again, I implemented some techniques in this that I had never used before, like the pin tucks around the collar, which to my surprise came out really nice. I have some gold thread embroidery around here, which also had never done before. This vest, which didn't come out the way I hoped, but still looks pretty nice. And just overall, I am very happy with this project. And I'm also very happy to report that I did actually get to wear it. This was something I was very sad about when I finished it, that I couldn't, you know, show it off or go anywhere and actually wear it. But I did. I ended up going to the Midwinter Fair a few weeks back. It still fits me. It fits over my bump because it has a pretty high waistline. I didn't fit into the vest, so I just wore the dress with a cape on top, and it was fantastic. So the hem is now a little bit dirty. It kind of smells like campfire, but I don't want to wash it because I feel like it really adds to the charm of the dress. And a dress like this needs a slightly dirty hem. Ran into a bunch of viewers there. It was amazing. So yeah, very glad I did end up getting to take this out just towards the end of the year. So that was really nice. I think I'm gonna give this 4.5 stars because I really love it, but it's not perfect. I did make some mistakes that I regret, especially when making the vest, but yeah, it is a really good dress, but I don't love it as much as I do some others, so 4.5 stars for Eowyn. Then this blouse. This was an attempt at cloning my favorite white blouse, an old synthetic fabric blouse that I had from Primark, which smelled like perspiration so bad and I couldn't get the smell out anymore. I definitely didn't want to repurchase it, so I thought I would make it out of some lovely viscose. I ended up unpicking that blouse, copying all of the pieces, remaking it, and I'm quite happy with how I did that. Like the whole assembly process and the actual copying of the garment, which was a fairly complicated garment, I must say. I am quite proud of how I did that. However, the end result is unwearable because I didn't pre-wash my fabric. Story of my life. It shrunk in the wash and I can't wear it. The material that I used is so different from the material of the original that it just came out as a very different blouse, and it's just much too tight, much too small. I can't actually wear it, and I can't really give this more than 2 stars, I'm afraid. And those 2 stars are only for the process of making it, not for the actual blouse. The blouse itself, 1 star. I can't use it at all. After that little intermission, time for another big project. I was so in love with my glitter tulle gown that I wanted to make another very similar kind of Teuta Matoshi style dress with a very interesting fabric. And I ended up purchasing this fabric online through Etsy, I think, with these 3D appliques, and it's printed and everything. And I struggled with this dress, let me tell you. I struggled with this one. This fabric was horrendous. Not a very nice fabric to work with. The properties of it just weren't the best. It was fraying a lot. I wasn't sure which color to make it, although I am happy with the choice that I made in the end. And I just feel like I ran into a lot of problems when making this dress. I absolutely love the bodice, and I really do like the way it came out in the end. I made some little sleeves, like detachable, or actually detached little puff sleeves to go with it as well. When I wore it in the reveal, it was gorgeous. However, it is also just a touch too small, and because this fabric is so unsuitable, or maybe I just didn't know how to work it properly, it just didn't turn into something wearable. I can't actually wear this out ever. So it is also no longer complete. I took out the zipper because I lost the other lilac zipper that I'm pretty sure I bought at some point, but just couldn't find anywhere, and I need it for a different project. I really adore the idea of this dress, but it's a show dress, not a wearing dress. And for that reason, I think I have to give it 3.5 stars. I feel like that's fair. The next thing I made was out of a category of clothing that I had actually worked with once before, and I was intrigued and I wanted to try it again, which is swimwear. I made myself a swimsuit, and I love it so much. This was based off of something I saw in an Instagram ad, and I felt like I should probably be able to make that, so I did. And I love how this came out. I'm so happy with it. I've worn it loads to the pool with my friend. I kept on wearing it until I no longer fit inside with my bump, and I cannot wait to wear this again. I'm also very happy with the cuts and the design and the pattern and everything. The only thing is that I used blue lining, like this mesh inside, because I still had it and I didn't want to purchase new while I still had that. Plus it also matches the outside, so I thought it'd be nice. However, when this fabric gets wet, it becomes a little bit see-through, and then it kind of turns gray. You know, like white over dark blue, which isn't the greatest. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not the best. I should have done elastic around the inside of the straps here, because as you can see, they kind of do this. It doesn't really show when I wear it, but it would have been nice to have it be a bit more secured there. I didn't do that because I ran out of elastic while I was making this, but that would have improved the whole thing. But other than that, it's perfect, and I will give this 4 stars. Just because of those little mistakes. The next dress I made was a variation of the garden gown, this purple one right here. I had a lot of the fabric left, and I felt bad for not having made anything wearable with it. I also had an event coming up that I was considering maybe wearing it to, and I wanted to make something that would evoke the same kind of vibes as that dress, but be a little bit more wearable. And that is when the pret-à-porter version, the ready-to-wear edition of the garden gown, came to life, and I just could not make this work. Oh, I tried so hard. I don't know what went wrong. I honestly don't know what happened here. I think the pattern just wasn't good. The design wasn't right. I feel like I couldn't make it work. I don't remember how I presented this after I finished it, and how much of my disappointment I hid, but I ended up really not liking this one. Even though I love the concept of making like a couture gown and then a ready-to-wear version of it, this isn't it. It just really isn't. I haven't worn it. I'm not sure if I will. I think it's just this fabric was so hard to work with that it didn't do what I wanted it to. And yeah, I think this is a 2-star dress. Unfortunately, I'm not happy with it. Something I am happy with though, this one, the wrap dress. It is horrendously wrinkled because I just pulled it out of storage. I had put it away for winter. In this video, I reused one of my favorite sewing patterns. I have a bunch of sewing patterns that I've purchased and only used once, and I feel like that is such a shame because you can make vastly different garments using the same sewing pattern over and over and over again. So I kind of wanted to use some of the variations that were available with this pattern, and so I ended up making myself a nice and long wrap dress with a very interesting fabric. I absolutely adore this. I've worn it loads. Just like the other dress I made with this pattern, this quickly became a favorite, a firm favorite in my wardrobe. And I will for sure wear this again once spring and summer come around. And this I know will fit over whatever is left of a bump or like, you know, extra weights around that time. 5 stars for that one. So along the same vein, another pattern I used again was to make this blouse. And this is from a pattern, a 1940s retro, I think, sewing pattern that comes with 3 different pieces. There are trousers, overalls and a blouse, and I had made the trousers, I had made the overalls, actually used the trouser pattern several times already, but I had never made the blouse. And I had, again, some of this fabric left in my stash, just a little bit, and I wanted to bust that and use it up, and I ended up making this blouse with it. It was a really fun, quick project to do in between bigger projects, and I actually really like how it came out. I don't remember having worn it much though. I'm not sure why. Maybe this is just hard to combine with the clothing that's in my wardrobe already. Like, even looking at it now, I'm not sure what bottoms I would combine this with. So if any of you have any tips, then do let me know, because I feel like I would really like to wear this more. It's a really nice garment and there's nothing wrong with it. Just out of the enthusiasm I feel for it, 3.5 stars, 4. Let's do 4 stars. My next big project is another pattern repeat of one of the biggest projects I have ever done in my sewing history, which was my woolen winter coat. I decided to reuse that pattern to make myself a pink glittery raincoat. Yes, we had a bit of a theme here. I really wanted to make myself fun clothing this year. The pink glittery raincoats. I love it. I love it. I have a little confession to make. It's not finished. I never ended up sewing in the entire hem. It's almost there. Like, I did most of it, but I was gonna miss my deadline. I think it was a sponsored video. I was gonna miss my deadline, so I never finished the last bit of the hem. And actually, after finishing this dress, I was well underway in my pregnancy. I hadn't told you guys yet. This barely fit me anymore, so I didn't actually get the chance to wear it because it doesn't fit. It's very tailored around the waist. You can see it's very narrow and around here. And yeah, I haven't been able to wear it, but I will for sure wear this next year. I want to give it 4.5 stars. Now, obviously after this, we are moving on into the maternity wear. First thing I made was this skirt, a really nice and warm maternity skirt to wear throughout winter, which is based off of the pattern for an 18th century petticoat. It's super simple. It's basically just 2 panels gathered onto a waistband, stuck together, that you wrap around your waist to the front and then to the back. There is one problem with this, which you can probably see. I ordered this fabric online and it wasn't exactly what I hoped for. It is very heavy, very thick. That does make it a little bit hard to wear, and I haven't actually worn the skirt yet. However, there is a very quick and easy fix to this skirt that will make it wearable, and I plan on doing that very soon. I will share it with you in like a short, I think, like a short format video, because it's super easy. And after that, I should be able to wear this just fine, and I'm really excited for that because I do really like the look of it. Right now, I would rate this 2 stars maybe, because I just honestly can't wear it and I'm a little bit disappointed. But once I fix it, I think it's definitely gonna rise to a 3, maybe even 4 stars, depending on how much I love wearing it then. Yeah, this one definitely still has potential, but it needs some altering. And then the very last thing I made this year is the dress I finished last week. It does have some slight issues with the hemline. The hemline is a bit uneven, and I'm not sure if it's stretched on the bias or if there's a different problem there. It actually works out quite alright in the front because it kind of evens out the loss of length that I have with it going over my bump, but in the back it looks a bit off, so I might have to go in and correct that. 3 stars for my maternity evening gown. And that brings us to the end of my handmade clothing review of 2023. I feel like I went through a lot of growth this year when it comes to my sewing. I learned a bunch of new skills. I went through a bunch of hardships, but that's a part of, you know, leveling up your skills and learning new things is disappointment and having to go back and redo things. And I feel like that I did that a lot this year, going back and redoing stuff and fixing my own mistakes, which kind of feels a little bit disappointing. It feels a lot nicer to present a beautiful, finished, shiny result. But I do feel like many of you guys, like many of my viewers, appreciated that honesty and kind of that problem solving aspect that I went through a lot this year. So all in all, I am very happy and very satisfied with the work I've done this year, and I am really excited to continue sewing more into the new year as well. There will definitely be some more maternity wear because more and more of my clothes just simply don't fit me anymore. But I also suspect I will be doing a lot more sewing, not just for myself, maybe some smaller things. Yeah, I would really like to maybe venture into making some baby clothes, some baby accessories maybe. And then as my body changes after delivery, like postpartum, there will be more opportunity probably for me to make some stuff there. But yeah, no idea what the new year will bring. It's gonna be a completely new life for me, so we'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you so much for being here today, but also the rest of the year if you have been with me for all this time. I really, really appreciate you being here, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys. So thank you so much. I hope you have had a wonderful Christmas, and I want to wish you a very, very happy new year. I will see you very soon in my new video. Bye!